Let's be real. You've been staring at that totally blank wall above your bed for weeks, maybe even months, right? You know it needs something, but you're just stuck.
And every single time you start looking for art, this one question stops you dead in your tracks. It's the single biggest reason that wall is probably still empty.
Well, guess what? That all ends today. In the next 5 minutes, we're going to solve this problem for good. I'm going to give you the one simple designer rule that will make sure you get it right every single time. No more guessing, no more annoying returns.
All right, let's dive right in. Section 1, that blank wall problem. We've all been there, and man, is it frustrating. You finally pick something, you hang it up, you step back, and it's just off. If it's too small, it looks like a lonely little postage stamp floating in a sea of drywall. But if you go too big, it feels like the wall is literally screaming at you. That beautiful piece you fell in love with at the store suddenly looks completely out of place.
So what is the secret? How do designers get this right every time? Well, it's time for Section 2, the 2/3 rule. This is the single most important guideline they use. And you know what? It's ridiculously simple.
Okay, here it is. The 2/3 rule. It just means that your artwork, or even a group of pieces, should take up about 2/3, so let's say between 60 to 75% of the width of whatever furniture it's hanging over. That's it. That is the magic formula.
So, how does this actually apply to your bedroom? Well, a standard queen bed is 60 inches wide. Lock that number in your head, 60 inches. That's our starting point for everything.
So let's do some super simple math. For that 60-inch bed, if you want a nice balanced look, you're aiming for 60%, which is 36 inches wide. The sweet spot, where most designers land, is around 67%. That's 40 inches. And if you really want to make a bold statement, you can push it to 75%, which gets you to 45 inches. See, your perfect size is right there, in that 36 to 45-inch zone.
Okay, so you have your target width, but you don't just walk into a store and buy 40 inches of art, right? So let's get practical. Section 3, picking your perfect size. What do those numbers actually look like in the real world?
Let's break it down. A landscape piece that's about 36 inches wide by 24 high. That's going to feel super calming, perfect for a wider headboard. What if you have a low headboard or really high ceilings? A portrait piece, something like 30 by 40 inches, is perfect. It draws your eye up, makes the room feel taller, and if you want to go for that real wow moment, anything 40 inches wide or larger becomes the absolute star of the show.
Now, I know hunting for art in these exact sizes can be a bit of a pain. So to make your life way easier, the Sparky Care collection, and I've linked it down below for you, is actually already sorted by dimension. You can literally just filter for the size you need. It takes all of the guesswork out of it.
All right, so you've got the perfect size picked out. Awesome. But here's the part that almost everybody gets wrong. Section 4, hanging art at the right height. Yeah, getting the width right is only half the battle.
There's this great saying in design, the instinct is to hang art high. Fight that instinct. And it is so true. This is the #1 mistake people make. The art ends up feeling totally disconnected, just sort of floating away towards the ceiling.
So what's the fix? It's a dead simple 3-step formula. 1, measure from the floor up to the very top of your headboard. 2, add 6 to 8 inches. That little gap is so important. That's where the bottom of your frame is going to go. And 3, just as a quick double check, the center of your art should land somewhere between 57 and 65 inches off the floor. That's standard gallery eye level, and it just feels right.
And just like that, you know the what, the right width, and the how, the right height. So if you're feeling inspired and ready to put this into action right now, you can find the perfect ready-to-hang piece, frame and all, in the Sparky Care collection. Again, that's linked right below for you.
Next up, we've got the big creative decision. Section 5, a single piece versus a gallery wall. Both can look absolutely stunning, but they create totally different feelings in a room.
You can really see the difference here, right? A single big piece gives you this clean, calm, more restful vibe. It's one clear focal point, and let's be honest, it's a whole lot easier to hang. A gallery wall, though, that's where you can inject tons of personality and texture. It lets you tell a bigger story. So you just have to ask yourself, are you going for a calm, zen-like sanctuary, or a wall that's all about personal expression?
Now, if you do go for the gallery wall, here are a few pro tips to really nail it. First, the total width of the entire group still needs to follow our 2/3 rule, so you're still aiming for 36 to 45 inches across. Keep a consistent 2 to 3 inches of space between each frame, and try to use similar frame styles or colors. It'll make everything look cohesive instead of chaotic. Oh, and the most important tip of all, lay everything out on the floor first.
Seriously, play around with the arrangement until it feels perfect. You'll thank me later.
Whew, okay, we have covered a lot. So let's lock it all in with our final section, 3 big mistakes to avoid. Think of this as your last little cheat sheet to getting it absolutely perfect.
So the 3 most common mistakes people make. Number 1, hanging it way too high, so the art just floats away from the bed. Number 2, going too small, the dreaded postage stamp look. And number 3, this one's a sneaky one, centering the art on the wall instead of centering it on the bed. Remember, the art is having a conversation with the furniture, not the architecture of the room.
And there you have it. In just a couple of minutes, you now officially know more about sizing and hanging art than 99% of people out there. Let's just recap the 3 golden rules one last time. The 2/3 rule for the width, the 6 to 8 inch gap for the height, and always center it on the bed.
So, this brings us to the big question. Now that you have the formula, the question isn't how anymore, it's what. What story are you going to put on that wall? If you're ready to find that story, go check out Sparky Care's curated wall art collection. The link is right there in the description. Every single piece is ready to hang, which just makes it so simple. And hey, if you found this little masterclass helpful, do me a favor and subscribe for more 5-minute guides to make your home better. Thanks so much for watching.